Hello, good morning. How are you all? Yeah, I'm having coffee. Then you are doing all the homework? Yes. Yes, all of you are here already. 20 members, 24 members already here. Good morning, good morning. I'm doing well. Okay? Right. So let's start with the little bit background I'll give you so that we can start it out. Okay? Yesterday we spoke about the types of fruits, no? Where we studied the type of dried fruits, right? So dry fruits and enta. What is the definition for dry fruits? Let me see. How do you define dry fruits? Come on, all of you. Dry fruits are meaning enta. What's the meaning of dry fruits? Yes, it has a hard and dry skin. Skin is different. What is that you will write? Fruit wall. Not epicarp, it is pericarp. Epicarp is the outer layer of pericarp. Epicarp, mesocarp, endocarp, pericarp. So fruit wall, yes, good, Avina. Pericarp is dry and thick and it is not edible. Okay, wall is dry, leather and hard and not edible. Not edible. Okay, and seeds will store the food and seeds only are edible in this. Okay, but types of dry fruits. 3 types, tell me. 3 types. What are the 3 types of dry fruits? Dry decent, indecent, and cytocarp. Arey, Napita, first decent. Then caryopsis kate. Dry decent, dry indecent, dry cytocarp. Correct? Now, under dry decent, we have 3 types. Tell me dry decent fruits. Name them, list them. Dry decent types and headache. Legume, follicle, siliquan. Indecent types yavudu? Dry indecent. Indecent fruits. Caryopsis, Cypsella, nut. Okay. Cytocarpic fruit alle Momentum, Regma, and Cremocarp. Okay. So we discussed about all the 3. Let me give you in detail. And yesterday you drew the diagram. Whether I don't know whether you written the notes or not. Okay. I need to give you the notes actually for the types of dry cytocarpic fruits only. Others alla kottidini, only cytocarpic kottilla nanu ankontini. So let me give you the notes of dry cytocarpic fruits. Alva? Alva, you have to write something about the dry cytocarpic fruits now. Okay, dry cytocarpic fruits. What are the cytocarpic fruits? The fruits that are divisible into small units called mericarps. In turn, each mericarp is either decent or indecent. Right? So, in that first one is Momentum. Example, I gave you groundnut and tamarind. Okay. Second one, I gave you Regma. Example, I gave you as a castor plant. Third one, Cremocarp. Cremocarp, example was coriander. Right? So only Cremocarp I'll give you. So these are the 2 mericarps that are held by a central stalk called as carpophore. These are the mericarps. So it's found in jeera, even in Somph. Somph we call the fennel. jeera, somph, and all you will get this. Okay, write the notes for this. Write the notes for this. Write down first one, Lomentum. Lomentum. It's a type of dry carpet fruit. It's a type of dry carpet fruit in which fruits longitudinally cut into fruits transversely cut into number of mericarps. Transversely divisible into number of units called mericarps. I repeat, Lomentum is a type of dry carpet fruit that is divisible transversely into number of mericarps. Example, groundnut. What are the other examples I gave you? What are the other examples for Lomentum? Not pea, tamarind plant. Tamarind. Next you write regma. Okay, next write regma. It is a type of dry carpet fruit. That divides longitudinally into 3 mericarps. Okay, later Kirtana, you get it from your office. Okay, later you see the video, Kirtana. Okay. So I told you, regma, it's a bisajocarpic fruit. It divides into 3 mericarps longitudinally, and each mericarp is indehiscent. Each mericarp is indehiscent. Next, you write cremocarp. It develops from bicarpellary apocarpous ovary. It develops from bicarpellary apocarpous ovary. In which the two carpels divide longitudinally into 2 mericarps Next full point. Both of them are attached to a central stalk called carpophore. A central stalk called carpophore. Central stalk called carpophore. Then okay. So let's now move on to the next type. Okay, so these are all about the simple fruits. See, first thing I told you, simple fruits having fleshy fruits. Simple fruits, dry fruits. Simple fleshy, we wrote 5 types. Simple dry fruits, we learned 3. Under that, again, in each almost 3 examples. Okay. Now I'm going to give you next type, that is the aggregate fruits. Second type, it is aggregate fruits. So aggregate fruits refer to the group of fruits, a type of fruits in which the ovary is multicarpellary apocarpus and single ovary. Multicarpellary apocarpus means carpels are free, and the whole thing when convert to fruit, it forms a bunch of fruits. That's called as aggregation, or we call it as itario. First one is called itario of berries. Means bunch of berries, right? So this is seen in the plant, like you would have seen in custard apple. Custard apple, you would have seen this way. It will be like this, and it will be this is inflorescence like fruit, and these are all developing from this, right? These are custard apple. This is called number of all these are berries, right? Example is custard apple. Custard apple. Okay. Second one is itario follicles. Follicles. So this is seen in the plant. Example, Michaelia champaka. Champaka is sampige. Champaka flower, you will get some bunch of fruits like this. If you have not seen, just once you watch, sampige maradalli kai bittaga nodbeku, right? You will get these opening with one suture because they are follicles. This is called champaka flower. Third one, itario of drupes. This is seen in coffee fruits. Coffee also almost like this you have seen. The fruits develop like this in a bunch. Each one is a drupe. There are bunch fruits. This is the coffee fruit. If you have seen coffee, it's good. Drupes there. These are the aggregate fruits. We call them as itario. Itario is a Latin name. Itario refers to bunch. Okay? Right? Adding aggregate fruits. Write down. These are the type of fruits that develop from multicarpellary apocarpus ovary. Multicarpellary apocarpus ovary. And the fruits develop in bunches. Or itario. Or itario. Write the 3 types. Yeah, you update your flowchart, no? Because I had just left like that, no? Update your flow chart. Did you draw? Second one is champaka. Champaka andre ಸಂಪಿಗೆ ಹೂವು. Done. Okay. Write down first one, Italy of berries. It developed from multicarpal apocarpus ovary. Multicarpal apocarpus ovary. And each fruit is a berry. Each one is a berry, and it forms a bunch of berries. And it forms a bunch of berries. Next, right? Itaria follicles. It develops from multicarpellary apocarpous ovary. And the fruit is bunch of follicles. Fruit is a bunch of follicles. Next one, Itaria of drupes. I said last line is, therefore the fruit is bunch of follicles, group of follicles. Itaria of drupes. This develops from multicarpellary apocarpous ovary. Multicarpellary apocarpous ovary. And fruit is a bunch of drupes. Fruit is a bunch of drupes. Okay. The last one I'll give you now. There is the last type of fruit left. It is the third type of fruit. It is called as a multiple fruit or composite fruit, right? It is multiple fruit or composite fruits, right? So the multiple composite fruit is here the complete inflorescence give rise to one fruit. I told you this already, right? For example, first one is this is called sorosis. It is seen in jackfruit. So jackfruit actually will be having inflorescence called as a catkin inflorescence. Catkin inflorescence. This inflorescence entirely develop into one fruit, right? This is the inflorescence axis. This is right, and here you get number of fruits with the bracts below, perianth lobes here, and the stigma will come out in the form of a small spine-like structure. It will be like this, right? This is the fruit seed. Here is the bract. Whatever you get, these are the bracts. Perianth lobe is what we eat as perianth lobe. And gynoecium will form a small sticky structure which form the small needle-like spines on the top, right? So this is about the inflorescence axis. And I'll draw one more here. This is the seed. You can see here down. Okay, I'll draw here only. This is the seed. These are the perianth lobes. The one what we eat are perianth lobes. And the remaining ones are bracts. And this is the stigma, which form the spine. Okay, throughout you get bunch of these fruits. It's called as the sorosis fruit, jackfruit and pineapple. Second one is called as the siphonos fruit. Okay, I write with different colors so that you will not get confused. Second type is called as sorosis. Sorosis actually developed from the inflorescence Hypanthodium. The name of the inflorescence is Hypanthodium inflorescence. The example is the fig fruit. Fig andre gottalva? Ficus fruit, right? Here it will have a basal big receptacle. This is a whole receptacle it is, right? And at the tip it has a small opening, right? This is a thick inflorescence. This is a receptacle. You find here downward facing hairs. Here you will get female flowers at the base. Male flowers in the top. These are all male flowers. And in between you get neutral flowers. So these are the female flowers. These are the male flowers. These are the neutral flowers. Okay. Normally, this opening, there will be an opening here. This is called the ostia. In this ostia, there will be entry of an insect. Insect will enter and it lay the eggs on the neutral flowers like this. Mother insect. These are the eggs of the insect. These young ones, when they are hatched from this, they will start flying here. Inside that, a lot of insects will be flying. Right? They bring about transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma. Pollination. When this is the thalamus. When this fruit is opened, then some of them they will escape, they will continue their generations. Otherwise, they are wholly and whole and so they are edible. So this is the opening, right? Ostiole. Okay. This fruit or this plant, fig andre the ficus, atti hannu, anjura hannu ella, ee insect inda matra pollinate agasade. ಬೇರೆ ಇಂದ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಇನ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಪಾಲಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. If the insect is there, the plant will survive. The plant is surviving, insect will survive. Therefore, it's like a co-evolution. They exist together. They originated together. They help each other. Right? Suppose we go on cutting these people trees and banyan trees and these ficus trees and all, the insects will die. Again, you want to grow the ficus trees, they will not grow well because insects are already dead. Therefore, there is a very fine relationship between the plants and the animals. Right? Without knowing anything, you cannot directly enter the nature and spoil it. Right? We have no rights to do that because once you spoil it, you cannot correct it back again because you are also a part of nature. You can't control the whole nature. Right? This is what has happened with human beings. They think that they can do anything in this world. So that's why nowadays Corona is making them showing their place. So sit here. Have superior power. Nature is supreme power. It is doing everything. You people need not do too much act like this. Now imagine you have a lot of money. What do you do with that? Right? If you don't, if you have Corona problem, okay, you will go to get treated. But otherwise, all the money where you will spend. First thing what required is now health. Right? So therefore, as much as possible, think about the nature. Nature is so beautiful. So I'm not just saying it is there because of the syllabus. I'm telling you the feel for the nature is very important for everybody. You should always feel like, so nicely we're getting seasons, suddenly seasons are changing. So everything is like a timetable, it's happening in this world. We are just a part, a small atoms of that nature, right? So you don't have to just study how it is. So beautiful is nature. Study it, right? You need not to think about much about how I can change it, I will improve it. First you think what it is. Then you start studying details. Okay? So therefore, this plant will be always existing with the insects. Insects will exist with the plant, right? They are always depending on each other. Nobody can pollinate these plants unless that insect is existing in the environment. Got it? Have written cirrhosis twice. Is it same, man? Ayo, no. This is not cirrhosis. I'm sorry. It is Syconus. I'm sorry. Good. What you said is right. I'm good. You are good in. It's called Syconus. This is cirrhosis. Different. They're different. Thank you. Ma'am, I saw a video in which they told if honeybee is extinct, the world may end. They are the one who are pollinating. If you kill them, you are nowhere. Not only a lot of plants here, plants without them you cannot survive only. Okay? Write the heading multiple or composite fruits. Good, Varshita, you people read. You keep reading and watching the videos and all. They're very nice. Multiple or composite fruits, right now. These are the fruits that develop from entire single inflorescence. Entire single inflorescence. Types. Cirrhosis and Syconus. Draw the diagrams. At least on 6, 7 you draw. 2, 3 here, 2, 3 here. You draw. Types, cirrhosis and Syconus. Draw both of them. Drawing. What to repeat, Toshita? I said no multiple composite fruit. They develop the fruit developed from an entire complete inflorescence. Over. That's all. Draw both the diagrams. Draw both of them and explain you. Nothing, one line only I told. Now, how to pronounce the word below periantha? Bract, 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 B-R-A-C-T, bract. Then, did you draw? Done? Write down. Now, what is the word below the male reproductive flower? The neutral flowers. Neutral flowers. What is the word? I told na. Write down. First one, cirrhosis. It develops from entire catkin inflorescence. Entire catkin inflorescence. Entire catkin inflorescence. It consists of central inflorescence axis, central inflorescence axis, which is fleshy and thick, which is fleshy and thick. I repeat, it develops from entire catkin inflorescence. Catkin inflorescence. It shows the central thick fleshy inflorescence axis. Central thick fleshy inflorescence axis. Next point. Large number of berry fruits grow large number of berry fruits grow attached to the inflorescence axis. Attached to the inflorescence axis. Inflorescence axis is thick and I'm repeating the Bida. Inflorescence axis is thick and fleshy. Thick and fleshy. Full stop. Number of berry fruits are attached to the inflorescence axis. Number of fleshy fruits are attached to the inflorescence axis. In each fruit, perianth lobes are thick and fleshy. Perianth lobes are thick and fleshy. And are edible. And are edible. Bracts also are edible sometimes. Bracts are also edible sometimes. Next. Spiny stigma. Spiny stigma is attached, sorry, it protrudes. Spiny stigma protrudes above the fruit. Protrudes above the fruit. What to repeat? I don't understand, Nitika. From where to repeat? The entire thing only you will be writing only. Everybody will say repeat, repeat. I don't know what to repeat. What to repeat? I said spiny stigma. Protrudes out of the fruit. Okay. Next, write the heading Siphonos. Ma'am, what is that Neha saying? Ma'am, some fruits can be consumed before ripening, like jackfruit and bamboo, after nice cooking. This trait is not present in all fruits. No, there so many unripe fruits we eat. No, mango also we eat unripe. Guava we eat unripe. It depends on what is the taste. Whether gummy liquid is the stick, that is nectar. Nectar present in jackfruit. Right? Even another example you write here, pineapple. Pineapple also is the same thing. Next to write last one, Cyconus fruit. It is a fruit developed from Hypanthodium inflorescence. This inflorescence I have not told you already. Remember, Hypanthodium inflorescence come under special type of inflorescence which I had not told you, right? Only for the need, I'll explain the details of all the type of inflorescence. 20 types of inflorescence are there. Only I told you racemose and cymose, no? That totally 20 types are there. That I'll tell you later. Right now, just write down what is hypan. Just write it as Cyconus developed from Hypanthodium inflorescence. Spelling note Hypantho. Hypanthodium inflorescence. Write down. Written. Next, right? The fruit consists of thick and fleshy. The fruit consists of thick and fleshy thalamus or the receptacle. Thalamus or the receptacle within which it possesses male, female and neutral flowers. Within which it possesses male, female and neutral flowers. It has an opening at the tip. It has an opening at the tip called ostiole. Called ostiole. Next paragraph. This shows a special type of insect pollination. This shows a special type of insect pollination. Insect pollination. In which a special insect enter the inflorescence through ostia. A special insect enters the inflorescence through austere, and lay the eggs on neutral flowers. On neutral flowers. After hatching, the young insects roam within and bring about pollination. Okay. In this fruit, the entire thalamus, along with the fertilized female flowers, male flowers and neutral flowers are edible. Fertilized female flowers, male flowers and neutral flowers are edible. Okay, that's it. Then we are done with this chapter. We have to now talk about the taxonomy. Okay, we are going to talk about the new unit, that is taxonomy. Let me close this window. It's raining here. Okay. So what is taxonomy? It is the technical description of a plant and a flower. It's a branch of biology where we deal with the plant. So we deal with the plant and its technical description we do, right? That's called as taxonomical explanation. See, already I think I was telling you about the taxonomical description of a flower, no? The actinomorphic flower, I gave you some signs and all, no? With that background, I can give you first thing, yeah. Today, before the taxonomy, I'll give you how to draw the floral diagram and floral formula. Then only it will be easy for you to understand the taxonomy. Okay. So let me give you about something about the drawing of floral diagram and formula. First, I'll give you floral diagram. Means diagrammatically you are representing the flower. Okay. How the flower looks like. in taxonomic fashion. Suppose I am drawing one flower, the same thing I'll draw. You already know this. This is the first one. What I'm drawing is the Brassica flower, because we have already done with the Brassica, right? You know it. Brassica, it have the central gynoecium, ovary, style, and stigma. Here are the ovules. Okay. Then I'm going to draw the petals. Okay. Petals, the stamens. So, how do we describe this flower? The flower is said to be, suppose this is a flower, it has a bract, imagine, any flower is. The flower is described as, first thing, what you will say, looking at the flower, first thing is, the flower has a bract, no? We call it as a bracteate flower. Okay, first definition is bracteate flower. Right. Second is, it has normally two to I have written because I've taken section, it is having 4 members. We call this as the tetramerous flower. Tetramerous means 4 members are there, tetramerous flower. Then apart from that, what you will explain? The flower is bisexual. Why? Because it has, this is calyx, this is corolla, this is androecium, this is gynoecium. All, both the sex organs are there. And all members are calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. If they all are there, it is a complete flower. Okay, complete. The flower is complete. Everything is there in this. Right? Nothing is incomplete here. Then flower has superior ovary. You can see here, I have drawn the ovary above all this. This is an ovary, right? Above the calyx, corolla, androecium. So the flower, if it has superior ovary, what is the flower called? If there is a superior ovary, what is the flower called? Let me see. You people answer to me. If the flower has superior ovary, if there is superior ovary in a gynoecium, what is the flower called as? Yes. So you should write it as hypogynous flower. Hypogynous flower. Okay. This is about the description. And the flower, if it is normally, if you observe in the front, the central view, you can see that there are 4 petals and 4 sepals and 4 anthers, and it is cutting equal in all the planes. Radial symmetry. What do you call such flower? If it has radial symmetry, what do we call it? Let me see. You people answer to me. If the flower is radially symmetrical, what do we call it? It can be cut into equal halves passing through the center. What do we call it? Actinomorphic. Very good. The flower is actinomorphic. Okay. This you can see only when you take the flower and observe from the top view. Not side and all you cannot see. Only top view you can see whether it can be cut into equal halves passing through any vertical plane, not just any plane. Vertical plane you have to cut in any plane in a vertical way. If it forms 2 equal halves, it is an actinomorphic one. Understood this? Now we are going to talk about if this is a condition, how are the arrangements? See, these are all what you have to write. Then I will tell you about the members. Calyx. Sepals are 4, polysepalous and valvate. This you have to write the description. Then corolla. Petals are 4, polypetalous, valvate. This way you have to write description. Then androecium. Stamens are 4, dithecous. Okay. And normally they face the center. They'll be like this. They are facing the center, not outside. If they are facing center, they are called as the intros anthers. Intros, right? They are facing the center. They are not facing outside. Right? Androecium, stamens are 4, dithecous and intros. Gynoecium. Here normally it will have 2 carpels. So it is called the bicarpellary syncarpous ovary. Sometimes apocarpous also. Ovary, which is superior. And ovules arranged on axile placentation. This much you should write for full description of any flower. So once you understand this, I will show you how to draw the floral diagram. Understood it? So write first one, heading, floral diagrams. Floral diagram. Floral diagram. It is a diagrammatic representation of entire flower from transverse section of the flower, in bud condition. In bud condition with respect to stem axis. Name itself is floral diagram. Later I'll tell you taxonomy, right? It is now only floral diagram is a name. It is not a chapter name. It is a continuation of what we were doing till now. Lesson name itself is floral diagram. Did you write the definition? What I told you? Chanbasappa idu morphology nene, just flowering morphology nene, but writing floral diagram is a part of it. Written writing floral diagram. Did you write the description of floral diagram? What is the definition of floral diagram? There is one person called Skanda. He is not reacting at all. Only few people will be reacting in this. Most of them are not doing anything. Skanda, are you there? Skanda. I could see your photograph, but you are not seen in the discussions at all. Hello. So many people are there, but nobody is reacting. Maybe you think that somehow I act like I'm listening. Okay, you will not work. Dhatri, Napita, Harish, Hanish also I have not seen anybody anytime responding. Jivita, Kavya, Kirti, Kushi, Kritika, Kushal, Monisha, Nandita also is not reacting today. I have not seen her reacting. Norain, Pooja. Normally Nandita will react. Prakriti, Prithvi, Rashmi, Rohan, Rifa will react. Sri Raksha, Sneha, Spandana, Srishti, Sujal will talk. Srishti will talk. Trisha, Varshini, Varshita, Shashank, Gauda. All these people say yes. Let me see. All those members, 53 members say yes, you are there. Nabita is saying, just a minute, wait, let me see. Yes, Pooja, Abhigna, Rohan, Spandana, Jivita, Rifa, Chanbasappa, Dhatri, Amog, Sinish, okay, Prithvi, Nandini, Varshita, Akanksh, Nikhil, Chandana, okay, Harshred, Tanoj, Standa. I didn't get 53. 53 members are logged in. Hardly I could see 15 to 20 members saying yes. Only 20 members. What about all of other people? They switched on and roaming around, I think. Skanda I didn't see only. Where is Skanda? His name is there, his photo is there. Okay, write the definition once again. I am repeating. It is a diagrammatic representation of complete information of flower in transverse sections in bud condition with respect to the stem axis or mother axis. with respect to the stem axis or the mother axis. Actually, I am using phone today. It is not convenient. It's okay, Nandita, because all the days used to talk nicely and answer also. Today you are not doing that. That's the reason I am asking you. That's it. But still, I couldn't see Skanda is there. Yeah, Skanda, what, ma'am? You're just saying, ma'am, nothing. You have no doubts on this, Skanda. From day one, I have not seen you talking at all. You should react, baby. Skanda is saying, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Okay. You should react, Skanda. Otherwise, I think that you put it on and you are roaming, because I see a lot of my house also, my brother's children and all, they switch it on, run around, play around. They are kids, but you people, you will have to remember these things, because I am doing everything in detail. If you miss it later, it will be very difficult for you, because entire botany depends on this only. Lot of neat questions come from this only. Complete botany is on this. If you don't understand till now, whatever I have done, it's gone case. Okay, it's okay. Okay, it's okay, Gnapika. Write down. Written? Next, right? Example 1, Brassica gensea. Draw this diagram and I'll give you the details. Example 1, Brassica gensea. I'll give this detail again. Written? Are you drawing? Brassica gensea is also called Chinese mustard. I don't know, baby. It must be regular mustard only. Regular mustard only. Yes. Finish drawing? Write the description. All of you finish drawing? Yes, done. Write down. The flower can be described technically as below. This flower can be described technically as below. First one, flower can be described as first one, bracteate. Bracteate. Next, tetramerous. Bisexual. complete hypogynous and actinomorphic. Next, floral whorls. Calyx sepals for polysepalous valvate. Floral whorls. First one calyx sepals for polysepalous valvate. Next, corolla, petals for polypetalous and valvate. Valvate. Next one, androecium. Stamens for free, dithecous, intros. Dithecous, intros. The bracket right, intros meaning, what is the meaning of intros? Yeah, that is stamen space inwards. In the bracket you write stamen space inwards. Written intros. Next, gynoecium. Gynoecium. Underline. Ovary is bicarpellary syncarpus. Bicarpellary syncarpus with ovules arranged on axile placentation. Ovules arranged on axile placentation. The ovary is superior. Ovary is superior. Done? Okay. So with this background, I will give you how to draw the floral diagram and floral formula. Okay. Let's now talk about that floral diagram and formula, how it has to be done with this explanation. See, only when you get all this information, only you can write the flow diagram. I have already given you these information. Why I gave? Because with this background, you can easily draw the floral diagram. Okay. So let me give you the character diagram of floral diagram. Floral diagram of Brassica gentiana. Okay. So this is Brassica. For Brassica gentiana, you have done it. So first thing I'll draw the floral axis. This is the stem axis or a mother axis. It's a stem axis or the mother axis, right? Compared to this, how are the other parts? First thing I'll show you the calyx. 1, 2. Actually, we have 4 sepals now. We should draw only 4 sepals. You have to see the flower and draw this. I'll give some examples afterwards, right? Sepals 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sepals I am drawing. They are free. Already you know that they are on valvate estimation. How to draw calyx? It should be like this, right? You know already. This is sepals. There are 4 sepals, right? Use a different color for the corolla, then you can understand it easily. Corolla petals are 4 and they are valvate. 1, 2, 3, 4. First outermost is only calyx. For corolla, you need not to show the pointed edges. Just show like this lines. Okay. This is corolla. 4 petals. They are poly. They are not attached. So they are polypetalous. Then anthers are 4. Already I told you. Okay. And the diathecous. First anther lobe, second anther lobe. It is inwards. Intros. First anther lobe, second anther lobe. Inwards. First anther lobe, second anther lobe. This is first anther lobe, second. So they are intros. They are attached and they are inside facing. Then bicarpal and syncarpous ovary. One carpel here. One carpel here. Here is a placenta arranged on the axile placentation. Any number may be ovules. This is the floral diagram. With stem axis, this is the posterior petal, this is the anterior petal. Okay? And these are side petals, they are all arranged sideways. This is how you have to draw floral diagram. And I showed you one bract should be drawn. Below that, you should draw one bract. Right? If you can't see it, just shift them a bit up so that you can see this properly. Okay? So this is the second one. This is the calyx. This is the bract. Last one is bract I have drawn. Lower one is the bract. This is what you draw floral diagram. Then coming to the floral formula. How to write the floral formula? Hello? Hello? No, sir, wrong number. Okay. Formula is formulation of this diagram. Means how in formula you can represent the entire flower. Okay. Floral formula I write it here. First thing, the flower has a bract, one bract. It is actinomorphic. It is female plus male, bisexual. Calyx 4 free, corolla 4 free, androecium 4 free, gynoecium superior ovary bicarpellary syncarpous. This is called the floral formula. So when you draw all this, you can write the complete description of a flower. Time please. Yen sujalangandre time please, ma'am. Time up. Arey yaar, I don't know. Today time up first mega. Okay. So we'll have to draw it again tomorrow. Remember the characters and we will do it tomorrow. And so I didn't see the time. I'm so sorry. I thought it is still time we have. Suja reminded me. Okay, that's okay. But anyway, this flow diagram, how I drew, do you understand how to draw it? So I'll give you a homework. Write the flow diagram and formula for hibiscus. That is for tomorrow. You will have to show me. In the group, you just put it. Floral diagram and floral formula for hibiscus flower. Will you do that? No, it is not so simple. Yes, yes, Allah. Very well, neatly. Bardidan concentrate my note kontra very good. Karina, okay, time up. See you then. Bye. Can you show the diagram? I'm showing it once again. Wait. If you have time, you draw it. I'll wait for 2 minutes. Okay, then. Okay, see you then. Bye, all of you. Have a nice day. See you.